Hello, welcome into Knit Habits. As you can tell, I am here again with Glen at Oak City Fibers. So we're going to bring you another great episode with shop updates and news, and we'll catch up with Glen a little bit here as well. And if you're just tuning in, welcome. If you're new here, I have had some new subscribers since my last video, so thank you so much. Greatly appreciate that. If you do enjoy the content here, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell, all those YouTube things. And this is my corner of YouTube where I just discuss my knitting and I get to meet with Glen. We're hopefully doing this regularly, about once a month, and we'll be checking in and talking about the usual knitting things, finished objects, WIPS, things going on here, and then we'll also talk a little bit about some mental health things. This month is September. It is Suicide Prevention Month, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that. So we'll jump right into it. Today is episode 21 of Knit Habits, and we'll get right into it. Do you have works in progress and some things to show? I have 2 finished objects.
Ooh, that's more than I have.
Right. I have the one I'm wearing, which is the Alyssum top by Jessica Kassebaum. I did notice she followed me on Instagram, which was really funny.
Oh,
I was doing something and her name popped up and I went, that name sounds like the one for my Alyssum top. And I looked it up and I went, I had to tell my husband. So I have a designer following me.
You have arrived.
Right. So this is made in City Tweed DK by Knit Picks in the color Plum Wine. I did do a tubular bind off on the sleeves and the hem.
That looks nice.
I started it on the 10th of July and got it done on the 29th of August.
Ooh, that's quick.
Yeah, it did go really quick.
In the same year, July to
Right,
August.
yes, this year.
Oh, very
yes.
good.
I know, right? I start and finish things. So yeah, I did it longer because this is a crop, but I did mine a bit longer, about 16 inches, and then the 2 inches of ribbing, and then that
tubular bind off.
Thank you, tubular bind off, and it's just a really nice raglan sweater. That I think I can wear all the time because it's just, one of those.
I like the yarn. It's pretty.
Thank you. I like a tweed. Gives a little bit of
looking
visual
to find
interest.
good tweeds.
Yeah, I like that.
I have Brooklyn tweed, which is an awesome tweed, but not
Tweedy.
tweed.
Right,
yeah,
right,
not
right.
Tweedy.
Not
yeah.
Tweedy.
Yeah.
Right. So that is, just Knit Picks, City Tweed. And then I know another podcaster, Erin from Fiber Hustle, was talking about this leaking into the water, like the color of it, and it definitely does. So I would have to say, yeah, it did bleed.
I get a lot of customers say, does this bleed? And I always reply with, well, it's a dyed fabric yarn.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't expect it not to bleed.
Right.
Not unless it's superwash, and
Right.
that shouldn't bleed. But even some of the Rios bleeds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anytime you're dealing with dye, it's like writing with my fountain pens.
Right.
You're going to get ink on your fingers.
Absolutely.
That's just part of the,
Absolutely.
to me, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
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 But
yeah.
anyway.
And, I mean, if you're concerned about it, if you did, like, color work or something like that,
Right.
you could always use a color catcher in the water.
Yeah, so then that's I knit this beautiful pair of colorwork socks. I could show you pictures. In honor of the lady that taught me to knit socks. She passed away, and this was 2014. I put them in the state fair. They didn't place.
Oh.
And the lady that took them out of the case when I went to pick them up had been judging the knitting over 40 years at the state fair. And she said, did you knit those socks? I said, yes. And she said they were the prettiest pair of socks she had ever seen.
Wow.
Put in the state fair. And I said, well, why didn't they place? And she looked at me and said, why didn't you block them?
Oh.
But I used String Theory. It's like a burgundy color, like a real rich burgundy. And Malabrigo Ultimate Sock is the natural color. It was beautiful. And my daughter wears the socks, but I didn't block them because I was scared
Of it running.
Of it running onto the white.
Right.
I even timed how many hours. That was 121 hours on those socks.
Wow. That's
But
a
it
long
was
time
the
for
bottom
socks.
of the foot, the ankle,
Wow.
the heel turn, everything. Full color work. I'll show you
Wow.
pictures when
Okay.
we get offline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send them to me. I'll put them on the.
Oh,
on
okay,
here.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I learned always block. I block every pair of socks I knit
you?
now. Block every hat. People say, "Oh, I don't block socks. I just wear them." Well, I block them.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't block socks
Haven't
either.
put anything else in the fair neither.
My mom used to do that with crochet. She would put it in the fair.
Ooh, that's
yeah.
pretty. Chartreuse.
Yes, this is yarn that I got here.
Yes.
Ryan yarn. I'll just hold that up there. And this is in the colorway The Phone Sewing Cat Room. And yeah, these are called, why can't I find it? These are called Sailing School Socks by Helen Stewart from the Handmade Sock Society 2 book. I made these on a, here's the other one.
Ooh.
I do have 2. I did these in a US 1, 2.25, 9-inch circulars. I did the shadow wrap heel. She has a heel, the gusset, the heel flap and gusset on the,
The shadow wrap is awesome.
yeah, I love the shadow wrap.
That's what I was just saying. I did on these. This
I
is
love
my
it.
whip.
Yeah.
This is mustache yarn. I sell at the shop also.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
there's a whole story behind this heel. But I love it's a version of the fish lips kiss heel.
Right,
I call
right.
it kissing the fish lips heel.
Kissing the fish.
But anyway, I was starting to do this one Sunday and I had holes everywhere, right down the gusset. And I sent it to my friend Tracy. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? And she said, replies back, I've never seen a heel look like that. So I just put it aside, said a few curse words. Next day, picked it up and went right through both heels perfect. And
there you go.
all it was I was missing the triple stitches.
The triple stitches. Yeah, you do have to go back and do that.
When you just slip them, they make pretty holes all down the
nice.
gusset. Yeah.
Oh, you were making your own pattern.
Yeah.
And then this just has a rounded toe on it here
That's
as well.
pretty. That yarn is beautiful.
It is beautiful, and I really did love working with it. It's a nice plump yarn. Really felt nice to work with. Didn't split. I know that when I work with some sock yarns, they can be kind of splitty. Yeah, and this one wasn't. It was a beautiful yarn to work with, so I definitely recommend the Ryan yarn.
And he's expanding his equipment and stuff.
Oh, perfect.
So I'll be reordering from him soon.
Perfect.
But,
and I know you
I
still have a little bit
I
over
still
there.
have some on.
Yeah. So this is beautiful. So these are my 2 finished objects. What else have you been working on? So you had your socks.
Yes, I have my socks, and then the shop joined the Malabrigo September knit along of the month, because it was in Rios. This is the pattern.
Hold it up
here.
close. Perfect. It's so pretty. I know you have one up there too.
Yes, we have a shop sample,
Yeah.
and then I'm knitting one in that colorway, in those colorways, and I was working on it last night.
And what is the name of this pattern?
It's called Lehigh, Lehighgh, by Melanie Berg.
By Melanie Berg. Okay.
She has awesome patterns.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And the main color is called Whole Grain. Yes, Whole Grain. And the contrast color is, well, I use Candome. And I think they did it in Diana, which I have. So I have the colors in the display.
Can I hold them up?
Oh, yeah.
I'll hold these up here. Perfect. Oh, it's coming apart, but that's okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Whole grain and Rios.
And I gotta get that wound. It's got a little blue in it too, if you can see that blue.
Yeah, we're kind of far away from the camera here. It's okay. There you go. You can see that blue right there. So it picks up
the blue in that one.
Yeah, it's really, really
they work.
pretty. It's a nice contract, but they work well together.
And Rios is, everybody loves. I don't know who don't love Rios.
Right, exactly.
But I now have 36 colorways of Rios in the shop.
There we go.
And I keep adding about every week. So for long, I'll have every color they have.
Right.
But anyway, that's my second WIP. I didn't bring others because I just forgot. But
Yeah.
some finished objects we have. If you're ready for me to go
Sure.
there, we
Sure.
Alyssa and Ann, my employees, make a lot of the shop samples. So I ordered this a couple months ago, and this is the new yarn by Queen City Yarn.
Mm-hmm.
I just about said a wrong company. This is the Latta, which is a sport weight non-superwash, and it's a, am I getting it right? Am I holding it right?
Yeah.
A teal color.
Yeah, it's showing up bluer on the camera than it actually is. It's a little bit greener,
And
for
then
sure.
they came out with a 75% Surrey alpaca and
So
25% silk. And it's called Bernice. And I bought every color they have, so it coordinates with the Latta. And this is going to be October's knit along.
Okay.
This hat, the pom-pom really makes it. But anyway, it's a beautiful hat, and this pattern is minted by Andrea Mowry, Queen City Yarns, one skein of Latta and one
Beautiful
skein of
cable.
Bernice. And you can actually, I think, just about make 2 hats.
With it, with
with
the
it.
amount.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And you have pom-poms?
and we have pom-poms, yes.
Perfect.
And I'll be ordering more pom-poms because it's coming up on hat season,
It
I call
is. It sure is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so that's this right here. I love. A lot of people like working with mohair and silk, but a lot of people don't like the fuzzy of mohair.
So, they
So
like
this
Surrey.
Surrey alpaca is less fuzzy, but just as soft. It's kind of a mix between mohair, silk, and cashmere merino. That was what I kind of. It's like 2 different things.
Sure. Yeah. It's
So
called teal feather is the
that's
colorway.
color. But I have
on this
21
one.
colorways of that.
It's really pretty.
And more colorways of the Latta. So
Perfect.
yeah, love that yarn.
Yeah.
Do we want to go down the list?
Sure.
I don't know what to.
I have 2 more. I have 2 more whips. We can
Oh well,
talk
let's talk
some
about
whips.
Yeah.
So I talked about this on my last episode. I am doing a test knit for Twin Set and Pearl of the ChrisChris shawl. And I am on the decreases, so I'm on the downward on this. I'm just trying to get everything out.
I love your stitch stoppers.
I know, let's talk about those. Let's see here. So the yarn is, the main color is some deep stash that I had. It's Earl Grey Fiber Company in their Darjeeling sock, 4-ply, 75-25. And the colorway is Get Cozy. And then she has, in the pattern, it's mohair, but I'm using a Surrey. A few of us that are test knitting are using Surrey. So this is some Trilogy yarn Surrey that I had in the colorway Pixies on Parade. And this is a 74% baby Surrey alpaca, 26% silk.
Nice.
So here is, you can tell which one this one is because it's nice and furry. That is Pixies on Parade. And then this is the second skein I just started of the Earl Grey in the Get Cozy. And
That is real pretty.
this is, it's like a basket pattern. And then she has 3 different versions of this. So I'm doing the random one where you randomly put the Surrey in different sections. It's not showing up as well as I was hoping.
It is on this side.
Yeah, on that side it is. And on the wrong side it is, which I actually like better. I think that the Surrey shows up better on the wrong side, on this stockinette side. Which, you know, you could wear it however you want, right? But she's really good at making long, but not very wide, crescent-shaped shawls. So that's really nice. And I'm on the decreases now. And
It's pretty.
yeah, it's really nice. It goes really fast. And here are the stitch stoppers that Glen was talking about that I got here.
Yeah, reorder those Monday.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yes.
I have so many of them.
I was going to since we're showing stitch stoppers, I gotta show you mine.
Okay.
You show yours, I show mine.
There you go.
I'm not going there.
No.
There's the Golden Girls.
Yeah, those are fun. I have those. Those are good.
I also have others, but you got to come in the shop to see them. We
Yep.
have some really fun ones and some crude ones and some nice ones.
Right.
I
Well,
pick
whatever is your flavor.
That's right.
You go ahead.
I pick it all.
I like the crude ones. So this will be done probably pretty soon, and it's been a really nice experience to be able to test knit for her, and she didn't mind me showing it. You can see hers on her podcast. Her and her sister just put one up yesterday, and so she shows one off there as well. So that is one of my WIPs. Do you have another WIP to show? Are you good?
I'm good right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I showed the sock. Yeah, man.
Okay. And then the other thing that I'm working on is,
that bag.
Thank you.
I say it, you used it last time.
I did.
I love that bag.
Yeah, this is from Slick Chick that I won from Amy at Happy Little Yarn. It's a great, perfect sock size bag.
Yes.
These are the Incantation socks by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. And this yarn is again a deep stash that I had. It's by Chameleon.
It's pretty.
And it is a 75% superwash and 25% nylon, fingering in the colorway Daydreamer. It was a sock set. And she is on Etsy. I will have her linked below so you can see her.
Oops, sorry.
That's okay. And here is the colorway. There's that. And then this is the mini that came with it. So it goes really well together. And I just thought it was perfect for fall, since it is that time of the year. Even though we're still technically in summer, it is cooling off here, which is
Yes.
God. But yeah, that's the colorway. And then these are the Incantation socks, and I got done with the heel. Of course, I did the shadow wrap heel again.
It's
and
addictive, ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's
I
like,
love
why am I
it.
going to do a flap again?
No, I've done them here and there, but I really do I love the rhythm that you get into with it.
Yeah, and I like the way it fits the heel.
I think it fits the heel much better.
Yeah, I have a narrow heel. People with wider heels, the gusset flap works well.
It's better.
Yeah.
The only thing with this one is sometimes you get holes at the very end. But I've learned that if I do that last triple stitch from the back side, it doesn't have as much of a hole as
So do
the
you go
others.
all the way around to get the last one? Yeah.
All right, so it's just a really pretty lace pattern,
That is pretty.
which you might say lace isn't very fallish, but here in North Carolina, it's perfect for fall.
It's a pretty sock.
Yeah, it's really gorgeous. And now it's going much faster because I don't have to do the pattern the whole way around, but I really enjoyed doing that.
You
And
like the 9-inch circulars?
I do like a 9-inch circular. I know you're a magic loop person, right?
No. I'm a 2 circular person.
2 circular person. I don't like magic loop at all. I
don't
find
care
it
for
to be
magic
fiddly.
either.
But yeah, so these are the Incantation socks. And she talks on her podcast that she's redoing this pattern will be out. She's just kind of revamping it. So if you already have it, you'll get the revamped version. But she's doing that next month for Sockaween, which is their annual fall
I was just
sock
going to
knit
say
along.
we should do a sock knit along.
Right, for fall. That would be fun. So yeah, so you'll see those. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
Oh yeah, I got plenty.
Okay.
I have
I have one more whip and then I'm done. So
I have these new bags in, and they're custom made for the shop from Oh Wow Amsterdam. Can they see?
yep.
And I've got my logo on them. That was a great achievement for my less than 1-year-old shop. And in a weekend, well, in about 9 business days, I've sold more than half of them.
They're beautiful.
And
nice
I helped
thick
design
canvas.
I helped design the pattern and the color, and I picked the colors. And the 2 ladies that own Oh Wow Amsterdam bags, they made them and worked with me. And that's the medium size.
It's
And
really
I have
big.
a large size. Yeah, that's a big size for a medium.
Yeah.
I didn't get any smalls this time.
Okay.
So I got medium and larges, and the larges are all but sold out. I think I have three larges left in the orange and pink colors.
So
but all of them are on the website, and I've contacted the maker in Amsterdam for them to
get some more.
Yes.
Perfect.
But look on the website, you can see all the different colors.
Awesome.
And then I was going to show some new colorways of Emma's that I've got in the shop. This is the September color, Crazy Beautiful Club I'm in, and I get this in sock and super silky, and that's the September 2024 colorway.
It's so pretty.
It is.
It's an 80/20.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
And they make beautiful socks.
Yeah.
Yes, and sweaters and everything else. This is the new super silky color I've got, and it's called Fantasia.
Look at that.
I try to add a couple of colorways
Beautiful
to each
speckle.
base and build my inventory that way. So that's one new color.
And this is called Fantasia.
And that's the super silky. So that's a
20% silk, 80% merino.
And then this is the second new
my
colorway. And the
so many
camera
colors.
don't do that one justice.
No, it doesn't really.
And that's called, what does it say? Fish or Friends.
Fish are friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a real pretty color.
Yep.
So I always be looking for new colorways.
Ugh.
And,
I might have to steal that one.
I got some new bases of existing vendors coming, and then somebody told me about these, and I instantly, Christina's done picked hers out.
I did. I picked out my favorites. I love snowmen.
Toft.
Look how cute
I
those
sell
are.
Woobles as a learn to crochet kit.
And they come with everything, right?
Yes.
Everything you'll need to get started. And
And this is very nice yarn. It's not acrylic yarn.
These are from the UK, too,
Yes,
correct?
and they're imported
Right.
from the UK.
Right.
That tax and transportation is not cheap. It's 100% pure wool,
Look how
premium toy
cute.
stuffing, the crochet hook and needle.
How
The
cute
darning
that
needle is
Highland
included.
coon is.
And an easy follow pattern.
So
it's
cute.
all in there.
Oh, I love it.
Yes. So I have 3, 6, 9, 11 different
And they're different
choices.
levels,
And
I'm
yes,
seeing. So
yes.
there's 1, 2, and 3.
She picked a 3 and a 2. And in the ones I have
A puppy,
the Labrador, Emma the Labrador,
an elephant,
an
bunny.
elephant, yeah, and 2 dogs. Yeah, 2
2 dogs.
dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cute.
And I have a cat too, but that's a level 3.
Yeah.
And I have 4 Christmas choices.
Right. So you
Yeah.
can get started on your Christmas or winter.
Yeah, what
things.
is it called? Not anime.
Amigurumi.
Yeah.
Amigurumi, yep.
It's early, y'all. But
It
anyway.
it is. We haven't finished our coffee.
No. But that's really all I have, I believe.
All right. The only other thing I have to talk about, I did do a poll on Instagram with this yarn that I have in great buckets worth. It is the Upcycle Alpaca Sport Weight by Knit Picks in the colorway Seashell. It's 273 yards, 100 grams. It is kind of one of those high twist yarns, but you can kind of get a little bit of that halo from the alpaca on there.
What was the survey?
I had it between 2 different sweaters. The Drevo by Teti, Lutsak, and one that was by Modern Daily Knitting. I cannot remember the name of it right now. The Trellis top.
Okay.
And Drevo won by 1. And so I cast it on, sort of. That's as far as I got
New whip.
yesterday. Right. It is a new whip. So it's going to be, I did swatch.
I was going to say, did you do a gauge swatch?
I did do a gauge swatch. It is right here. She has you do the ribbing in the round. The way she has it on there, it says stretched and unstretched. She has you do 2. My gauge was a little bit large. It was like half a stitch more than what she calls for in the pattern. So I'll go down a needle size. And it turned out really pretty. And it's nice and soft. You can feel that.
Oh, it is soft.
And the only thing is I need a smaller cord, so I can start in the round.
So it's a top?
Yep, it is a top.
You could do magic loop.
I know, I hate magic loop.
I always pull the needle out. It's a great technique, but
right.
I always pull the wrong needle, that's why I do. I learned on 2 circulars.
2 circulars, yeah. And it does call for a tubular cast on, which I did watch some videos. I just didn't like the look of it. So this is done, I did it in a long tail with alternating knit and purl. So hopefully it'll be similar to that look, because you start off on the ribbing on the bottom. It's a top. And it's somewhat modular, so you do some pieces, some in the round. It's going to be a very interesting construction. I'll show you a picture so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, because I'll have a picture up while we're talking. But yeah.
Oh, can I plug one more thing? That just
you can plug
in?
Whatever you want.
I'm having Kate Oates, which is a very famous designer, come to the shop to teach the weekend of September 20th, 21st, and 22nd, 3 different classes. So if you've wanted to learn how to make a colorwork sweater, knit to fit your size, adjust sizes based on hips versus boobs, all kinds of things. Her workshops are phenomenal.
Perfect.
She's written books, and of course she's designed countless projects. She's coming, and if y'all would like to sign up and take a class, please check out the website, oakcityfibers.com, and go to the classes tab, and you scroll down and you'll see her class offerings.
Perfect.
The 2 I have 2 all-day classes, but one starts on Friday and finishes on Saturday, and then an all-day Sunday class. But there'll be breaks in between. We won't be sitting there for 7 hours. Of course, that does kind of sound nice.
It does sound nice, right. Yeah. But even then, you still have to get up and walk around.
Use the bathroom, get more coffee.
Yes, getting more coffee, very important. Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, check that out, and if you'd like to advance your knitting skills, consider the class. It's an investment in all your future yarn purchases.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, it's important to be able to not get frustrated and want to continue knitting garments, to be able to know how to pick your size and how to fit all of the various parts inside of that garment. Right. So, yeah.
I'm looking forward to taking the class too, because
there's always something to learn.
Mainly men's sweaters, but I have knit my daughter several sweaters, and the men's shoulders, like I don't have real broad shoulders. You got to learn how to make those fit, adjust, and then, some men out there don't have a belly, which I can't comprehend, but have these broad shoulders and narrow hips, that kind of thing, and it's the same with ladies. They have wider hips and more narrow shoulders or whatever. So I'm really looking forward. She's going to teach, one thing is I do a lot of color work, and when you have color work in sleeves, I have short arms, so how you can adjust the pattern to fit your arm length.
Right.
Lots of things. Just I could go on 15 more minutes about that. But
you can if you'd like.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Need more coffee.
Need more coffee. I know. I hear you. Perfect. Okay. Anything else for the store?
No.
Okay. All right. Well,
support local, or local won't be here.
Absolutely. Yes. And I will do a tour this time. We'll do that real quick after we're done here. But okay. So we're going to jump right into therapy talk. One of my goals with this channel is to help with the stigma of mental health, because we all have brains and we all have issues and we all have things going on in our life. And so we all have mental health issues. And since September is Suicide Prevention Month, I thought I would just talk a little bit about that. I know a lot of people are fearful of talking about suicide to people or their suicidal thoughts. We call them ideations in my realm of the world. And a lot of people don't want to talk to people about it because they think that people are going to be more likely to harm themselves if they talk about it.
Right.
And so a lot of people find the topic of suicide to be very scary. For me, it's something I have to ask people every day. Are you having thoughts of harming yourself or someone else? I worked 3.5 years in a hospital setting. I worked community mental health. I put people on mental health holds. So it's something that I am personally very comfortable with. But a lot of people aren't. And a lot of people don't want to talk about it because they feel that they're going to get, quote, locked up forever or, have a label put on them or something like that. And, I think that everybody has mental health issues. I think that I tell people a lot that, they'll call in and they'll be concerned about talking about their thoughts, or they'll think, well, a lot of people will defend themselves. Well, I'm not crazy because I'm having these thoughts. And it's like, well, you're right. You're not. You're a normal human being that's going through things. And I always tell people that our brains are a super highway, right? To, it would be better if I wasn't here when going through an issue, especially when you feel like you don't have a plan for said issue, whatever it is you're going through. So if you suspect that somebody is having a mental health crisis or is just having thoughts, and that's the other thing is about it, is that thoughts are thoughts, right? I could have a thought that I want to eat a whole pan of brownies. Sounds delicious.
That's a good thought.
Right?
With a cup of coffee.
Right, with a cup of coffee. Of course, coffee is, yes.
I gotta stop.
But that doesn't mean you're going to do it.
Right.
Because we have thoughts does not mean that it equates an action right away. And I think that people automatically sometimes think that if I have this thought that I don't want to be here, I wish I could go to sleep and not wake up, that it equates I'm going to harm myself.
Right.
Or if I talk to somebody about it, they are going to harm themselves about it. And that's not always the case.
Well, and I don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
I've been out, I don't think we've recorded since my anniversary date of coming out, August 21st.
Right.
And this year was 20 years. And I remember I was married to my second wife, and I worked countless hours at work to pay bills. And I would drive home, and I would think, because I knew I was gay, and I was like, I should just drive off the road and hit a tree, and then I don't have to, deal with all this and blah, 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 blah. And, but then I would think, well, who's going to raise my kids if I'm not here?
Right.
And then I finally shared that with a guy at work, and he referred me to a counselor to help me through coming out. Yeah. And for years, I never told anybody that, but I actually contemplated.
Sure.
Just the thought pops in your head, and your mind is such a powerful vehicle.
Yeah.
Yes. You can talk yourself into anything and talk yourself out of anything.
Correct.
But to me, the beauty comes when you can still the mind in mindfulness and meditation practice. And, I go through it every day here as far as ups and downs. And, some days we'll have really slow days as far as numbers, sales. Well, we don't have many of those, but we do have them. But I'll have 12 people sitting in a circle laughing and talking, and
nobody buying anything.
Nobody buying anything. And people's like, and I really do not want people to feel like they have to buy something every time they come.
Right.
And I'll sit there, and there's two ways to look at a slow sales day. Oh my God, the money's low. What am I going to do? I got bills to pay. The rent's due. Da da da. Or you can look at it and say, I've got 12 people that I would not be spending this time with today if I hadn't opened the shop.
Perspective is a huge thing.
And then I'm seeing these people reaching out outside of the shop and building friendships. And if I hadn't have been for the shop, they wouldn't even know each other existed.
Right.
So I'm like, that's a whole mindset.
Right.
Of which way are you going to choose, to be positive, or are you going to focus on something negative?
Yeah.
And it's the same with suicide. If you have those thoughts, it's okay to talk about it.
Right.
Talk to the one you love or you live with, or go online and search for help. Right. To talk out your thoughts. Right. There's nothing wrong with it at all.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's beautifully put. And, I think that we all have those thoughts. We all have I don't know, I don't want to deal with this thought. And yeah, sometimes it is perspective. I have people call me that are sobbing on the phone, and by the end, they're laughing. So things, and it's not because I solve their problems or I'm an amazing therapist or none of that. It's just being able to work through that, and oftentimes normalizing things. I can't begin to tell you the power of telling people it's okay. It's okay that you feel that way. It's okay that you have those thoughts. What's not okay, and one of the things that we have to work through as therapists is, do you have a plan? Do you have the means to carry out the plan? Do you have the intent to carry out the plan?
Right.
If those things are in place, then we have more of a crisis situation, right? So, I really want to leave you with using coping skills. I'm huge on guided meditations on YouTube. Mindfulness is a beautiful one. There's a lot of different techniques that you can use for that. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about coping skills at some point and when they're effective and when they're not. But using coping skills, the big thing is, if you have an employee assistance program, which is what I work for, please call your employee assistance program. Oftentimes your insurance company will have a behavioral health line on the back of your card, which I also do at my job. And they will generally have a crisis line if you need to talk to somebody, and they're generally there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Or there's 988, which is the new mental health line, which you can chat, you can text, you can call if you need to, and it's just 988, which is much better than the long number that it used to be.
Right. And going back, I'm listening to you talk, I was thinking, God, 20 years. Today is my 10-year wedding anniversary with my husband.
Yes, congratulations.
And if you'd have asked me 20 years ago that I would be where I am today, I would have probably laughed, because 20 years ago, first of all, two men couldn't get married.
Right.
I couldn't contemplate being out and, my parents knowing who I really was and all this kind of stuff. So I know when you're in a downward spiral and you hear somebody say it does get better, it really does get better.
It really does.
It really does. So what's bad today could be a blessing tomorrow. So things do get better. You have to work, but if I hadn't have chosen to go to therapy, they might not be as good as they are today.
Right. Or to reach out and even talk to your friend.
Just talk about
it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the friend guided me, because I thought, oh, going to therapy, I'm not crazy. I'm just gay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. But, and he's like, that's normal. It's okay, because they knew where I came from in my head. Yeah, it's just a beautiful thing that therapy is there. We're all different. Yes.
Yeah. And that's, I tell people all the time that acceptance, feeling like you're not being accepted or not being accepted, really plays a huge part in people's mental health.
Right.
And if we could just be nicer to people and be more accepting of people, be open to conversations with people, whether you agree with them or not, you can really help people feel better about themselves and their mental health. And it's such a huge part of our overall perspective. So with that in mind, with suicide prevention, reach out to people that you trust, reach out to any, like I said, your insurance company, 988, local mental health lines. You can look up crisis lines. If you're in the U.S., the National Alliance on Mental Health, or NAMI, is a really great resource. And so reach out. Don't feel like you can't talk to people about suicide. It's a thing that happens to us all with those thoughts. So please just keep that in mind for September.
And keep knitting.
And keep being happy. And check out Oak City Fibers online, or come in and meet Glen and see his beautiful store that I'm going to show you here in a minute. And like I always say, go ahead and give yourself the same grace you'd give everyone else. And what do you have to say? Happy day?
Happy day.
Happy day.
Make it a happy day.
That's for sure. Take care, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. Bye-bye.
Bye.